Hey friends, welcome to a brand new episode of the show. If you are new here, welcome to the show. My name is Verona and I am your behavior change nutrition coach focused on working with women who are committed to building sustainable habits when it comes to burning fat. Now friends, if you're new here, grab a tea, grab a coffee, your water, your matcha, or just a plain old glass of water because today, and don't forget your notepad because today friends, we are talking about a macro guide for successful women who want to lose weight. If you're in that category, then you're in the right place. And let's get into today's episode. Hey friends, welcome to Lose Weight with Macros, the Basics podcast show with me, your host Verona. If you're somebody who's overwhelmed by all of the conflicting information out there, you're confused about how much protein you should be eating, how to count macros, you don't have time to figure out your macros, and you're sick and tired of repeating the same old boring meals because it is exhausted, you are in the right place. This Lose Weight with Macros Basics podcast is specifically for you. You're the woman who wants to learn how to track your macros and do it sustainably, do it in a way that you can enjoy your foods and you don't have to cut out your favorite foods, and we're not here for that. So my friends, if this is you, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your matcha, your notepad and pen, because today's episode is going to be a juicy one. So buckle up friends, let's get it. So my friends, when it comes to fat loss, it is very easy to get overwhelmed, especially when you're trying to lose weight, because there are so many different factors involved in successfully losing weight, and not just losing it. It's also about keeping it off. And it's down to how much you eat, to how often you exercise. But if there's one thing that's essential for every successful businesswoman, mother, wife in your weight loss journey, is that you're taking the things that I'm going to talk about in today's episode into account. So if you are new here, my name is Verona, as I've talked about in the introduction, and I'm focused on helping successful women find successful habits to losing weight. Now, it's not just about losing the weight, it's about the mindset that's needed for you to maintain the weight loss. Because when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to weight loss, they are two very completely different things. Now, if you're somebody who's successful in your day-to-day life, in your family, you're well-to-do, you're well-off, and even if you're not well-to-do or well-off, but you still have success according to your definition of what success is, you know the hard work and the determination that it takes for you to get there and to maintain those standards when you're in that office. As your coach and as your wing woman, the same tenacity that you have in your day-to-day jobs, in your family, in your businesses, that is the same tenacity that I have partnering up with you as your coach to help you get sustainable fat loss. When you're putting in all of the work and you're gaining 100 miles an hour for everybody else, your boss, your clients, whoever it is that you serve and you serve well, I am doing the same, but in a healthy, sustainable way to help you lose this fat. Because when it comes to successful women, we're successful at doing one thing and some things or many things well. But oftentimes, if you're that woman who is successful, the health and well-being, your self-care, taking time for yourself, that often tends to take a back seat. So my friends, that's why I'm here. That's why you're here. Now, if you're interested in working with me and making me your coach, go over to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/coaching. And there you'll book your one-to-one session with me. So that is for one-to-one coaching, which is high-touch coaching. It is not a joke. Now, I've just signed up a few clients that are working with me one-to-one, and we are going through a 16-week coaching program. Yes, my friends, 16 weeks. And the reason why it's 16 weeks is because we're focusing heavily on your mindset. So it's taking you out of that, oh, I don't deserve to be cared for. I haven't got time to lose weight. I haven't got time to work out. I haven't got time to be healthy. Nobody is saying you have to work out 2 hours a day if you've got a busy schedule. I absolutely have not got time to work out 2 hours a day myself because I've got a busy schedule and I'm doing things. However, I know what it's like to be successful, and I also know what it's like to be unsuccessful. So having been in those camps and serving others to the detriment of my health, now that's why I coach you. So that if you're new here, that's exactly why I'm coaching women, especially like you, because you're so committed to serving others, but when it comes to yourself, you're not confident about yourself. You're not confident about your partner seeing parts of your body that you don't want them to see. You will do all you need to do to make sure they do not see those parts of your body, because if they do, you will start to get insecure. You have to face those things. Some of you don't like standing on scales, but yet still you will show up to the boardroom, you will show up for your clients so much. People love the tenacity that you show up for your clients for. But if they were to see you behind closed doors, and once you've left the office, once you finally close your laptop, and once you finally step away from your work mode, which to be honest, if you're always in work mode, that's a little bit difficult for you to do. The odd times that you actually do close your laptop and you step away from that, when you're just left to yourself and you're not doing anything, you are left to now being who you are. stripped away from all your accolades, and you're trying to be you. That is a space that many of us don't want to be alone in. Now, that was something that I struggled with myself for many years. I refused to look at my reflection in the mirror because I hated what I saw. Every time I happened to go in the mirror, look at you, fat flump, you fat marshmallow, look at you, no one's going to love you. All of these things used to come up in my mind. But I found satisfaction and I found joy in overeating those feelings. It's almost like I found joy in eating those feelings to silence. And many of us can be in that stage, especially now. I'm recording this in November, a week after my birthday, having a whole week of celebrations. Don't tell me I'm the only one. I know I'm not the only one who celebrates their birthday week. But now we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. And some of you may feel the pressure to actually, when you've got to see Aunt Sally and Uncle Bob, and they're going to comment on your weight and they're going to comment on everything that you're doing, but they're not going to look at their body. And so some of you have got that anxiety, and like me, you're going to eat your anxiety and feel good about eating it in that moment until you realize, wait, I'm feeling a little bit more sluggish. So when it comes to successful women, we know how to work hard. We know how to have determination. We know how to have grit. And I believe I'm talking to successful women today. And so when it comes to losing fat, it is easy to get overwhelmed, especially when you're trying to lose weight. It's easy to compartmentalize that and just leave it in the corner. But what happens is we get used to certain habits. We get used to getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, starting our day. The kids are asleep, your husband is asleep, everyone else is asleep. And you are, you've got through your email list, you've got through your hundreds of emails, you've got through loads of things, and you're running the ship solely to yourself. However, that is only going to last so long. You're only going to have so much brain power. You're only going to have so much stamina to do these things and to continue doing these things. Now, unfortunately, being busy is not a badge of honor. Many of us think that we have to be, in order for us to be successful, we need to be busy. That's not the case. But let's talk about calories and let's talk about calorie goals. Now, we've kind of shifted gears into talking a little bit more about fat loss. So if you're interested, I did start talking about clients working with me. So we're kicking off into doing some of the 16-week coaching. If you're somebody who's interested in that, jump on a call with me and we will have a conversation. It's 15 minutes conversation. I know you're busy. I appreciate your busyness. And we will have a conversation as to, is this really what you want? Is this something that you're really ready for at this moment in your life? Can you physically handle the intensity of a one-to-one coaching program? Can you handle the one-to-one Voxer communication? Is that what you need in terms of accountability? If you do, absolutely. These are just some of the things that you can do. And the reason why it's a mindset focused program as opposed to anything else is because it's helping you identify mindsets or road blockages. Imagine a roadblock, and this is the way that you have to go to get to your destination. You are going to have to wait until the roadblock is cleared. And that's the same thing that I partner with you as your coach, your behavior change mindset nutrition coach, which is why I specifically focus on equipping my successful women with the tools that they need to successfully maintain their fat loss. So you're not going to TikTok, you're not going to social media, you're not going to Facebook, you're not looking on Google, you're not looking on these search engines and looking for how to burn belly fat fast or how to lose stress weight or any of those things. You learn how to do them because you're dealing with the root cause that is responsible for all of the other things. And that's why it's a 16-week program. So if you're interested in working with me as your coach, then the link will be in the show notes below, or go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/coaching to book your call with me. So when it comes to calories and when it comes to nutrition, these goals are going to be different from you to somebody else. So my goals are going to be different to you. So for example, I'm building muscle at the same time, still burning fat, but I'm building muscle. I'm not bulky at all. I do not look like a bodybuilder, and that's not what I take my clients through. You are not going to look like a bodybuilder unless that is your goal specifically. So when it comes to nutrition and when it comes to macros specifically, each of the goals that we have, they should be different, and they depend on things like your age, your gender, your activity level, and your weight. Now, most calculators will just take into account just those basic things, and they will just give you a randomized number. So if you're somebody here and you're listening to this part of the episode, then you can actually go to a free calculator and actually get that limited information. They're great, but they only take into consideration, because so many people use them, they just give people a generic number. But if you're somebody who wants a specific number, that's why you've got custom macros via nutritioncoaching.co.uk/custom-macros. I'm customizing your macros to you and your lifestyle. So in the one-to-one coaching, that's already included in there. But when it comes out with those calories, it's important to understand that you might have been tracking your macros before, but just because someone else has got 40-40-30, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you because of your diet history, because of other things that are taken into consideration. Another thing to keep into consideration is, so when it comes to weight loss is it's important to understand that weight loss is more than just calories in and out. And if you're a successful woman, you may have heard of macros and you may not even understand what I'm talking about. You might think I'm talking about an Excel spreadsheet, but I'm not talking about an Excel spreadsheet in the slightest. factors. Now, when it comes to this, basically, when it comes to weight loss, we are focusing on how to eat food that our bodies are going to love. Now, many of us can think that that means plain boring salads, that we have to cut out all of our favorite foods. We have to cut out the foods that we enjoy. We have to, say no to the charcuterie boards. We have to say no to the extra slice of pie at Thanksgiving. We have to say no to the alcohol and the pie and the turkey. Now, when it comes to weight loss and when it comes to the way that I coach my clients, it's about partnering with you. Now, if you're somebody who says to me, well, Verno, I actually do like to enjoy a little bit of drink with my food. Okay, we're going to explore that. Now, the difference is it's encouraging you to make the changes as opposed to me coming to dictate to you, just tell me what I need to eat. Now, there are many coaches who do that, but if you're looking for a coach to do that with me, I'm not that coach. And here's the reason why I don't tell you what to do, in the sense of I'm dictating to you and you're just coming to me to be spoon-fed how to live your life and to do your nutrition. Is because you're not taking any autonomy and any responsibility for your nutrition. And also, you will then turn around and blame me or any other coach to say, you didn't tell me what to do, or it's your fault. Now, that's what we tend to do. We tend to apportion blame to everything. If you stand on the scale, you're like, you know what, the scale is rubbish. Let me close it. Let me throw that out the window. Actually, it's not the scale at all. The scale is an innate object. You've been stressed at work, and the way that you cope with stress is to overeat. I've been there and I did the same thing. But instead of apportioning blame to something else, because it's much easier to deal with the feelings, deal with the root cause. And that's the type of coach that I am. And not many people like this approach, but there are a set of women who love this approach. Now, I'm not going to tell you fix up. I'm not going to tell you in a way. I'm still going to be respectful to tell you. But some of us don't like hearing what we need to hear. We prefer to be mollycoddled, and I've been there. It hurts when we're told the truth. Believe me, it hurts when we're told the truth. If you're trying to repair your credit, you don't repair your credit and then go back and spend the credit that you've just done. You're going to keep repeating the same habits. In order for you to repair your credit and rebuild your credit so you can get a mortgage, you have to make small actionable steps and things that actually make sense. There's all sorts of ways that you can repair and rebuild your credit. One of the ways that they encourage you to do is not to spend close to your credit limit, and also you're doing it in time and in line with the cut-off period for your bill. There's a system that you're supposed to do, basically. So in order for it to reflect better on your credit history, instead of just paying it off in full on time or whatever else, there is a strategy to use. Some of us might think, well, I'll just pay it off in full. Absolutely, that doesn't harm your credit. But they say if you are in the phase of rebuilding your credit, there is a certain strategy to follow. So that's the same when it comes to fat loss. So this weekend, I had my birthday. This week was my birthday, my last year of 30s. I'm 39. If you see my face, you know that I don't look it. Okay, hey girl. Anyway, I digress. So talking about the strategy. So this week was my birthday, my last year of 30s. Happy birthday to me. And so I'm 39. Praise the Lord. Thank the Lord for that. And I decided an impromptu time to decorate or redecorate the space, the podcast office and the space that I do the podcast in. Who told me to do that? Now, I decided to DIY, do it myself. Yeah. I decided to do it myself. Now, the walls that everyone can see is great. It's fine. A little few bumps here, few bumps there, but I decided to do it myself. So there are some telltale signs that you have done it. I've done it myself. And the biggest place that you can tell that I've DIY'd it is the ceiling. Now, this point of the day, I'd done the walls. I put about 2 or 3 coats on the walls, and the paint drying time was around 2 to 4 hours. By the time I got to the ceiling, I should have started with the ceiling first, but by the time I got to the ceiling, I was shattered. I had done over 11,000 steps, for those of you who are tracking steps, just by painting my room. I was shattered over the weekend. And if you look up on the ceiling, you can see, damn, you better get a professional in to do that, because what did you do? And people have come into the office and they've looked up the ceiling and they've left speechless. Literally, they're like, is it supposed to look like that? Obviously, it's not supposed to look like that. But that's the same thing that when it can come to fat loss, we can try to DIY fat loss. And many of us, no shade here, because I've done the same thing. I've gone to the search engines, I've gone to Google, I've gone to Firefox, I've gone to Safari, I've gone to Pinterest, and I've typed in the problem area that I've had, and I put in the same word, weight loss. How do I lose belly fat fast? How do I lose my big bingo wings or jiggle wings? How do I get a thigh gap? How do I build booty? How do I do this? But it wasn't building a booty at the time. I wanted to lose fat. How do I do all of these things? And I tried to DIY my fat loss. And so some of you try to DIY your fat loss because you might get the advice from someone you trust or somebody you randomly met over on the internet, and they tell you, yeah, just cut out carbs. Yeah, just eat 1,200 calories. You already know you got a stressful day, right? If you have no brain fuel, coffee ain't going to give you brain fuel for effectivity and effectiveness. You are going to become addicted to coffee. It's a real thing. It actually does happen. You're going to get that caffeine hit. You're going to become addicted to it. You're going to have high cortisol, high stress levels. That is automatically going to go to your belly and produce an excess of visceral fat. So if you're somebody who's not burning fat, you're storing it in your midsection and you're looking at Google to say, help me Google, how can I lose belly fat fast? It's not going to help you apply it to your situation. It's going to give you billions of results. In fact, let's do that now. What we're going to do is we're going to type it in. I am actually going to type how to lose belly. Yes, I type really fast. Belly fat fast. Yeah. And I put for women. And that's come up already. I didn't even need to type that. That come up already. So what that basically is telling me that women are searching that in Google. That was one of the first searches that came up. How to lose belly fat fast for women. And that took 0.62 seconds. 38.600 million results. I think that is. Was that billion? See, I can't even tell you the numbers. And then the first two things that come up for it says that come up for me, a meal plan, comes up with an app to tone up. Then it comes up with the gastric balloon. Then it says workout free for 7 days, exercise to lose weight, trimming the fat. Eat a healthy diet. Absolutely. Focus on plant-based foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and choose lean sources of protein. Replace sugary beverages with what? Keep portion sizes in check. Include physical activity in your daily routine. Now, for some of us, when we see number one, eat a healthy diet, focus on plant-based foods, or we've already exited out that page because we don't want to hear eat healthy. we want to hear how do I lose my fat fast. So we don't want to hear we need to eat whole foods. We don't want to hear that we need to eat a little bit more healthier. We don't want to hear those things. We want to know, what can I drink? What supplement can I drink? Is there a fat burning pill? You got that on Amazon? Do they sell that on Amazon? Is it a pill form? Is it something quick? Is it something that I can take that's not going to take much time? Isn't going to require me to stand in the kitchen and meal prep for hours? We want instant fat loss results. But the problem is, if we're always striving after instant gratification and instant fat loss results, we only get results for a short period of time. Then we come back around to where we started and we're even heavier than we did before. And it's now we're like, forget about it. We actually are like, you know what, I'm done. Eat what I want to eat, do what I want to do. I'll worry about it in January. Now, how many of you have said that in the beginning of this year? We've had a crazy 2 years. We've had a crazy almost 3 years. Can you imagine? It's been a crazy turbulent time. And so I was part of the crowd that started to get deliveries a lot at home. We just got into that use of it. We got used to it because we were thrown into a situation and it's out of our norm. It literally changed overnight. I remember it in 2019. Overnight, we left the office. We came home to trial it. I never went back into the office for 2 years. When I went back, I was collecting my personal belongings because I'd left the job. And so so many things can happen. So I'm not saying that these things in life doesn't happen. Absolutely. But when are you going to change? As a mindset coach, this is the things that I'm tackling and addressing. So my friends, some of the boring things we have to do when it comes to fat loss, that means, and that includes eating foods that we might not necessarily like and our go-to. I'm not telling you to cut out all of your processed foods. The way I coach and the way I used to watch weight loss programs, especially in the States, you would get these hard army sergeant type of personal trainers. Some of you love that approach. Some of you don't really do well with that approach. I'm the latter. So some of you might think, yeah, the personal trainer is going to come in my house and tell me to throw away my 6-pack of Pepsi that I drink 2 of those every single day, or my coffee that he's going to come and tell me to get rid of. And you actually do it. You get rid of it. Then the next time they come to you, they check your bins and they show that you've got cans in there. Like, what happened to this Pepsi that I got rid of? Come on, that's unrealistic for you, clearly. So instead of doing those drastic things and then you're getting quick wins and then those wins are not even lasting, let's focus on doing things that actually work. When you have the free call to see what it is that you're actually looking for, but you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready for this level of change. If you're not ready for this level of change, I don't recommend you start now. If you are ready for that level of change, and that level of change doesn't mean you have to know everything. You've got all your ducks lined up in a row. Otherwise, you wouldn't need me as your coach. But when you're ready to take that step because you're done feeling the way that you are, you're done with diets, you're done looking up and asking your followers or asking your fans on your page, you're asking them about, should you do 75 hard? Should you do this thing on TikTok? Should you do this detox slimming pill? Should you do Shakeology? Should you do Juice Plus? Should you do Plexus? The answer to, I'm gonna tell you straight, them things, if you don't like to be restricted in that level, the answer is going to be no. Okay, I'm going to tell you straight, the answers are going to be no. But if you are somebody who wants the autonomy of what you can eat, how much you know to eat, with a little bit of flexibility and with a bit of structure, then that's what you need to lose fat. You don't need these things. Listen, I'm a coach I'm a coach. You know how parents, I'm nobody's parent here. So you know how parents don't want their children to make the same mistake as they did. that's the passion that I have for my clients. I've made those mistakes, and some of you have made those mistakes too. Some of you might even still be making those mistakes, but I don't want you to continue making those mistakes, desperately trying to get different results, but you keep falling back in the same mistakes. So let's change your narrative. Let's change what you're doing. Let's help you to be as successful as you are in your field, in your office, in your career, in your business, with other people, and let's make that success for you in your weight loss. Just like you help other people, let me help you when it comes to your nutrition and your fat loss. So that, my friends, is the end of today's episode. We're wrapping up, and that's a macro guide for successful women who want to lose weight. And I'm gonna add a caveat to that. You want to lose weight and you want to keep it off, and you want to be able to maintain it. If, my friends, you are somebody who wants to have a conversation with me a bit more to see how I can help you and be your nutrition coach, your behavior change, mindset focused nutrition coach, the mindset is key here because that's what we're working on, then head on over to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/coaching. It will take you to there. You'll be able to book in your session with me, your free session with me, and we will discuss how we can work together and if you're a right fit for this high touch coaching program. So, my friends, if you don't know anything about macros, go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/macros guide, and there you'll be able to download your macros guide and have your personalized message from me. Friends, I can't wait to catch you on the next one, but that is all. I will catch you on Wednesday, and on Wednesday we will be having some wisdom where I'll be talking about macros, everything macros, and preparing you for Thanksgiving if you are somebody who celebrates it. Hey friend, you made it to the end of the episode. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review over on iTunes. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's episode, or you need help, then you can contact me over on Instagram at VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast, or email me support@vanutritioncoaching.co.uk, or you can head over to the Facebook page VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast. It helps us reach even more women who are fed up of dieting, don't know how to lose weight, they're frustrated with following Sally's results and they're not getting any of their own, and they just finally want to shed some pounds and do it in a way that they can sustain and they can enjoy. But my friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, friends, stay healthy, stay blessed, and remember, if you haven't already downloaded your 5-ingredient recipe pack, you can go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes and download your 5-ingredient recipe pack. Who said healthy eating was boring? See you next time, friend.